Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. First off, I want to start by saying thank you so much. I've had so many of you join me here every week when I release a new video or two, and great comments, and I just wanted to express my gratitude to all of you for helping me build my channel as well as my blog and Instagram and all of the things. So thank you for being there and for being interested and engaging with me. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And I want to share with you today what's going into this container. So first off, I've never been particularly excited about pansies. They're great for spring and fall containers, and pansies are beautiful. They're happy plants, happy flowers, but I got this beautiful shipment of pansies that I have never seen before, you guys. They're from a company called Intelligent Genetics, and it's a series of pansies called Elegance Pansies, and they are the frilliest, most beautifully colored pansies I have ever seen. So that's what I'm going to be planting today. Let me show you. In the Elegance Pansy series so far, and it sounds like there's going to be more different types of pansies to come, but the first two that were released this year were two series. One was the Antoinette series and one was the Twilight series. Antoinette is more of the pastel colors and the Twilight is more of the moody, deep colors. And I can't decide which I like best. They're both beautiful. And so what I'm going to do is plant them in this container here. But first, let me give you a close-up of just how beautiful these guys are. I've got them sitting down here. So look at, I mean, you'd never guess that these were pansies if I didn't tell you. My plan is to plant all of these pansies on the outermost rim of this beautiful glazed ceramic container that I have. And it's a bit of a microclimate here. It's a southern exposure, so it stays relatively warm in the wintertime. And given that these are hardy to negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm hopeful that they'll come through the wintertime and be blooming again in the spring, and then I can drop in some bulbs that I'm going to be forcing over the wintertime in the center of this for a beautiful spring container. So not only does it get the warmth from the sun and the southern exposure, but it'll get some reflective warmth too from the house. So I think it's got a chance. As far as soil is concerned, I don't change out all of this soil. I dig down about 6 inches, take off that layer, drop in some fresh compost, and then I also like to sprinkle in the some worm castings that I use from True Organic, and I'll just work that into the soil. I don't mix in a lot of nutrients, especially this time of the year. It's not like we've got months and months of growth that I'm preparing for here. I'm just trying to replenish the soil a little bit and get them ready for these pansies. And I'm just going to drop these guys in no particular arrangement, and maybe just loosen the soil ever so slightly and plop them in place. I decided to fill the entire container with pansies. I think they're beautiful, and I'm really curious to see how they do in the wintertime. Pansies are wonderful. They can take those colder temperatures, which makes them ideal for spring and fall containers. And if these guys make it through the winter, I won't have to buy anything in the spring for this container because these should be beautiful. I was fortunate to receive these as trials this year, so I got 10 plants, and they did a soft release across the country. And next year, so in 2026, they'll be more widely available. If you'd like to see these in your greenhouses and nurseries, reach out to your favorite garden centers and tell them you would love to see Elegance Pansies in their spring and fall collections. So I think these will be gorgeous, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they make it through the wintertime. All I have to do now is water it in and wish it well. And before you go, let me show you a few things that are happening in the garden right now. I've had a lot going on in the garden. Naked spot back here, more on that in a second, but I'm going to be having knee surgery in a couple weeks, so I'm trying to button things up a little earlier than I normally would. I'm going to dig a few dahlias, not yet, I'm just going to give it a few more weeks. But the vegetable garden, look at that pumpkin, you guys. So funny thing is, this was one plant. This is a plant from Burpee Garden. They sent me a trial plant called Patch for Kids. So it's planted between some apple trees that I have growing in one of my Vigo beds. And it's just a single plant, and it spilled. I just kind of let it do its thing. It spilled out into the grass. And then it also spilled and went through the fence and into my neighbor's backyard. Now, she's got 3 little kids, and she just texted me the other day and she said, I just harvested 13 plants. So she's got 13 plants on her side, and I counted about 9, I think I've got 9 or 10 on my side. So a single plant and 23, is that 23? Around 23 pumpkins harvested, and they they're also edible. So they're made to be, you can make pies out of them, which I would probably puree some. She said she gave some to some neighbors as well. So this single plant, look at it, it's spilling around this way and this way. But I'm going to be taking out the veg garden soon. But let me spin this around and tell you more about this space here. All right, looks pretty naked. Now, if you remember earlier this year, I was telling you about the pussy willows back here. So I had Salix discolor on each side of the river birch, which looks phenomenal. And the pussy willow trees were just in such bad decline and had to come out. So I had Davy Tree come out last week and they cut him down and stumped him for me. So I'm left with this wonderful bare space. I took down some branches that were really too low hung on the river birch too. You couldn't mow the grass beneath them because they'd slap you in the face. So I cut some of those out. But now I've got this blank space here, which is going to be so much fun. So I'll be updating you on that and giving you more of a plan this winter while I'm working things out and kind of immobilized. So I'll have plenty of time to design this space. But over here, the plan is just beyond this brush here. I want to drop in a shed. So I need some storage for the backyard, and I think this is just a prime spot right in here. So I'll be designing that as well. But let me take you over. Look at these pumpkins, you guys. And they are the cutest pumpkins. It's called Patch for Kids. I've got this guy in here. But look at how this thing just goes. So I had one plant planted between the fruit snacks apple trees, and it just spilled out. It went all the way down. It went through the fence. Let me show you over on my neighbor's side what this looks like. This was one plant, you guys. And then it's down that way, and then when we come around this way, it's so much fun. I mean, the little kids get so excited about it too, but look at all these cute little pumpkins in here. They're darling. So the grass in here is super long as well. Got some somewhat more that way, but vegetable garden needs to come out. And let me take you into, this area here. So my musajaju, or my banana plant, my banana tree, is a thug. So it's gotten too big for this space. So I'm starting to regard it more as a weed because it's just overwhelming the lilac tree. I should have known better, really. So I need to do something about that because it's casting too much shade on this side. And I don't know what's going on with this Feather Falls sedge. All my other sedges look fantastic, but look at the shade it's casting here. I mean, it is, let me step back. Look at that beast. So my Eclipse hydrangea is not getting enough sun, so it's kind of just making it. But I do need to come up with a plan for this guy, and that is going to be really difficult to dig that out. I'm not sure what I'm going to do just yet, but massive banana tree. Okay, let's go through the side yard, and I'll show you what's happening over there. Look at the Honorine Joubert anemone, you guys. Super pollinator friendly, but a warning here. She's thuggish, and I need to check her because she's just overwhelming things. And I think the reason why my Verity Japanese maple is struggling is because there's just too much competition for nutrients here. So I need to dig out some of these rhizomes, and she was very polite for the first several years, and then all of a sudden, bam, she just started taking over. But super pollinator friendly, gorgeous in the late season garden. But it's also compromising the health of one of my Symphora carpos or coral berries. On the other side, I'm gonna have to dig that out too, but live and learn, right? But my Kindred Spirit oak looks fabulous. I love that tree. And I have another little elfin swan anemone, and I love the undersides of these flowers. Look at that. And the buds are purple as well. Do I see any buds on here? Yeah, so here's a single bud here. But even the buds are beautiful. But that's elfin swan. My Munstead wood rose is still gorgeous, always. Love that rose. And then further down this way, the plan is in the fall, or not in the fall, in February, I am going to try to air prune, or cloud prune, air prune, this Tamukiyama Japanese maple. It just looks like a blob. It's beautiful and healthy, and it's grown so much, but I really want to get the layering effect in there, and in order to do that, I need to wait for the foliage to drop, for it to get cold out. So February is going to be a perfect time to do that and start just making a few trims and stepping back and just taking my time with it and getting it so that it doesn't look like Cousin It so much. And then this way, look at these zinnias. That's giant wine, the Benary's giant wine, I believe. Okay, so this Pennisetum here, this is Puppy Love, and I love it, but it's overwhelming the soft serve Chamaecyparis over here. So that's right back here. So I need to do something with Puppy Love. I'm not going to do that right now. Pennisetums are warm season grasses, so right now is not a good time to move it. I'll move it in the spring when soil temperatures have warmed considerably. And look at this straight-laced sambucus or elderberry. Still looks awesome, and it's been so hot here, and it's still hanging on. And I don't know what's going on. This hibiscus decided it's going to flower again. This is cordon bleu. And it didn't really do too much. It's just weakening every year, so I need to think about that as well. And the fruit on my the Greenwell Spire crab apples, this is the back corner, or the front corner along the sidewalk here. Look at how red the crabs are. It's beautiful, you guys. And there's a couple different varieties of zinnias that I have here, and none of them have developed any type of powdery mildew. This is a cactus form called Senorita. Pollinators, butterflies, everything's all over it all the time. Not a hint of powdery mildew on this. This dahlia has been phenomenal. So this area here, this is where the school bus picks up the kids and drops them all off every day. And all the parents ask me, what is this? This dahlia is called Nicholas. Isn't that just beautiful? It's a water lily form and absolutely stunning. And that's the Rosy Posy Agastache that I'm hoping will make it through. I don't have much luck with Agastache, but I'm hoping this one makes it. We'll see what happens. And then I've got a few flowers left on my Tian Shen Seven Suns tree. And as you can see, super pollinator friendly. They love it. Look at those beautiful flowers. And then these bracts, they'll look like, in another month or so, it'll look like I'm getting a second bloom because the bracts turn bright red. So when you look at it, it looks like it's doing another, it's flowering again, in a totally different color, and beautiful. It's hard to believe how much this has grown in just a year and a half's time. And then I also get questions about the fragrance that's out by the sidewalk here. A lot of people say they smell popcorn or they smell cilantro. This is Sprabolus or prairie dropseed, and to me it smells like cilantro this year, and it's very strong. So I've got a lot of them planted underneath the heptacodium, and then plenty of Verbena bonariensis. That's super happy, and I never have problems growing that. That just self-sows everywhere. All right, let me take you back this way. Look at the grass though when it's backlit. It's beautiful. And then the shape of the allium. This is my some Matrona sedum that I divided from the backyard. The allium seed heads. My skyward pink Veronica still has blooms on it. Super pollinator friendly. Look at that. It just keeps flowering, you guys. And then I found a yarrow that I've been wanting for several years, and I was able to find that at Sunrise Greenhouse this year. This is a yarrow called Peter Cottontail, and it's just got the cutest little tufts on it. Flowering like crazy. All right, let's go to the other side so you can see this view from my neighbor's view. Okay, so this is the sidewalk. I'm coming around here. Look at that amaranth, you guys. So I also don't plant amaranth anymore. These are all self-sown. I had a variety in here called Dreadlocks a few years ago, and then last year I did plant some red spike, and everything just keeps self-sowing itself. So that's great. It's easy to take out though if you don't want it there. But look at the zinnia. So this is the Benary Giant Wine, and like I mentioned, the Senorita cactus form up front. This one, no hint of powdery mildew. But look at that Honorine Joubert anemone. She's beautiful, but she needs to be handled. And I think because of the competition here, this is my Symphora carpos, this is Proudberry Coralberry. Last year was beautiful. It's actually sending up a few suckers too, which is normal for this plant. But I only have a few pink berries on it, and I was kind of sad about that. It's just, I just don't think I think the anemone is just choking everything out and hogging up anything that's available. And this is the front of my house, which is in for a drastic change. And I can't go into full detail on that just yet, but this whole landscape is going to be redesigned. It's another winter project that I'll be doing. But I want to take you into the backyard. Let me do this really quick so you can't see it. I won't go into the backyard just yet. This is my James Galway David Austin climbing rose, and I mentioned to you earlier in the year, I had it on my Instagram as well. It gets thrips every year, and I don't start getting flowers on it, healthy flowers, until like August, which is such a bummer. But I'm so torn about whether or not I should dig these two up. I mean, they look awful. They're beautiful foliage, and the hips on them, despite the fact that, you know, they had thrips earlier, the hips that develop on it are huge. Let me find some big ones here. Look at this. And those will be bright, bright orange come late October, early November. But I love that element of roses with really healthy, juicy hips. So I'm really torn about whether or not I want to take out these James Galway roses. I don't know, we'll see. And then let me take you to the backyard. I've kind of decided that I'm not that into dahlias. I like them. I just don't need a lot of them. But the dahlia that I will, look at that. This one it's not a really good specimen. They're kind of past their prime. What is that? Oh, it's a giant grasshopper. So this is Thomas Edison. I love Thomas Edison. And the other one that I'm in love with that's kind of covered in a ton of powdery mildew right now this is David. The foliage should be black, but it looks like it's been dusted with powder. It's got powdery mildew all over it. So that's the garden right now, guys. And the patio is still looking beautiful. This Monarch Magic Ageratum is just going for it all year long. I can't believe this. I don't feed it. I still have a few monarchs here. Can you see them on the zinnias? See if they'll land again. Anyway, they're here. And the garden is still beautiful. It's definitely in decline, but I'm excited for what next year is going to look like and the planning process that'll happen this winter. Despite the storm damage and everything that's happened, it's all part of the ride. And I am so glad you're here for the ride. And thanks again. As I mentioned earlier, I'm really grateful that you're all here and subscribing and liking and commenting and offering suggestions and sharing. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.